Hello, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be talking about a very important topic, which is CPA inside Facebook ads, and more specifically, what should your CPA be when you're running Facebook ads to try and grow your business? Now, to start off, obviously, every CPA is unique to each business. It's unique to its product cost, it's unique to how much it sells its products for, and also all the other aspects that go into selling that product and all the costs that are involved with that, and also how profitably it wants to run. So what we're going to go into now is the specific way that I ask people to think about their CPA, how when I'm running Facebook ads for a new client and particularly new startup businesses, what I do to work out the CPA, and then how I think about how we should improve on that over time. So without further ado, let's jump into it right now. So first of all, let's look at how we're basically calculating our CPA. And one of the first things I think about is, okay, when we take into account everything that's involved with getting that product to the customer, what's the maximum we can afford to spend without losing money on the product? So that's kind of real testing things in the limit. What's the maximum amount I can spend to make sure I'm not losing money? So we want to take into account cost of goods sold, shipping, and also return rate. There's a cost of returns and also an average amount of percentage of people that do return your products. You have to bake that into your CPA as well. And then any other things that would be specific to your business that you have to do every single time you're making a new order. So if you do the example here, selling price £80, cost of goods sold £20, our shipping £10, and then our return rate accounts for £8 per order. That means, putting it all together, we have a total of £42 left, which is basically profit at the end of that we can afford to spend on marketing to acquire a customer without losing money on each order that we're sending out. And of course, you might be asking yourself, won't I be making any money here? And of course, if you can get a lower CPA in this, we want to be able to do that. But what we're doing here is we're about setting a minimum bar for not losing money. In general, lower CPA comes at a cost of speed of scaling, and we want to grow the business as fast as possible, and then we can later on get efficiencies down the line as we grow the business. And it's also one to remember when we're talking about Meta. Meta is still one of, if not the best advertising platform when it comes to reaching new people fast and at scale. And that scale bit and speed is very important. So we want to be able to do this as fast as possible and see really how many people we can reach with our business. So do we really want to be, when we're starting our business, do we really want to be getting greedy around 10% on CPA when we're starting out, when that could actually be causing us that extra bit of money spent in ads is what would allow us to scale kind of 10x with the amount of people we can actually acquire. Some businesses, yes, and of course, again, every business is different, but a lot of the times here, do we really want to sacrifice that for potentially growing the business to the size that we want it to get? So again, getting in front of thousands of people, which is what Facebook ads allows us to do, and getting your product in the hands of people that will find it useful is the first goal that we're trying to achieve here. And then from this point, we can unlock further efficiencies down the road. So number one is we will have efficiencies from learning. So if we're starting off at this base CPA where we're not losing any money, but we're not making any money, as we're growing, we're going to get efficiencies from our ad account. We're going to be dialing in the creative messages, the different messaging and the copy along with that as well to see what's working in our ads. And over time, this should improve the success rate on the ads that we are testing, the messaging, the people that we're speaking to and how we're reaching them should improve. And this also means that more of our ads are going to be successful and we're going to be wasting less money on unsuccessful ads that we know will never work. So over time, that should be positive into lowering our CPA as we go. And this also applies to the learnings kind of further down the buying journey. So this applies to kind of the offer that you're putting together and also the landing page and how you're speaking to a customer on the website. Next, we have repeat purchases. So again, if we're baking in, we're not making any money on the first order. Something else we can get from this and the extra growth we can get from the business is repeat purchases over time. So this is especially important if you're in some sort of industry like supplements or the food and drink industry where a customer will likely go on to purchase repeatedly over time. So hopefully we've got a person, we've not made any money on that first purchase, but they are using our products and have it in their hands and it's not cost us anything. We've already paid all of our marketing costs to acquire this person and all further purchases are essentially going to be free in regards to marketing. I say essentially because we do have other stuff that goes into that, like our email marketing, SMS marketing, and we might be spending a bit on retargeting, but that's going to be a lot cheaper. So it's going to be a lot cheaper or free a lot of the time. So if we go back to our first example of calculating our CPA, what does this look like? Well, we can see here that we made £0 profit on our first order, as we know. If this customer then goes on to make a second purchase later on down the line, well, now all of a sudden we're not paying any marketing costs for that person. So that £42 CPA now goes straight into profit. So what does that look on the larger scale of things? That means they've given us £160 worth of revenue. We've made 26% profit on that purchase. So we're already making money from that customer if they buy from us twice. What about when they go on to make a third purchase? Well, now we've got efficiencies going even further. We can now make £84 profit because we've now had 2 orders that are giving us all of that profit instead of a CPA. And if we go into the profit margin, that then goes up to 35% profit on the £240 that they've spent. So every further order they're giving us more profit that we're going to have. And then our profit margins on that customer are going up as well because our CPA is baked in that very first order. And next we have word of mouth. So when we're trying to grow a business, this is one of the reasons why you can be happy with just getting the product into someone's hands and it not costing you money. As you get your product into people's hands and they're using it, not only are they going to do repeat purchases themselves, but they're also going to talk about it and they're going to share their love to people that they know. This comes in the form of recommendations to their friends. Their friends will see them using the product, ask them about it, or they'll just want to recommend it to people who are like them. It's going to show itself in more reviews on your website in particular, which are very important, but then it's also going to show itself in reviews around the internet, people talking on stuff like Reddit and forums and other review websites. And then it's also going to show its face in more social media posts. So that person's going to be talking about it, that person might be sharing it on social media, and that person might actually be giving you social media content, which you can then use to repurpose onto your own social media content. So again, even though we've not made any money on this first purchase, we're getting all of this free marketing that's hopefully coming off the back of these customers, which means we can confidently be spending money, knowing that we should be getting some more money back from this customer once they've started using it. So on to our summary, what are we talking about here? So when starting your meta ad strategy, you should always plan a maximum possible CPA without losing money. Some businesses are even willing to go negative on their first CPA if they know they're going to get lots more returning money from returning customers after that. But a good baseline to start with in general for a business is what's your maximum possible CPA. In general, lowering this will come at the cost of scale, which is why we want to set our budget at what's the maximum we can spend. And this point again is it really worth all the work you're putting into your startup business? Is it really worth taking the risk of wanting to get an extra 10, 20% profit immediately when you're just starting out, if that comes at the cost of scaling as fast as you should be able to? If you're playing the long-term game here, you really want to be getting up to a good velocity as quickly as possible, so you can really get the cash flow benefits from that as well, rather than trying to make 10, 20% when you're just starting out. And of course, we've gone through the number of reasons of, as your business grows, why you're naturally going to get efficiencies which are going to be positive to your CPA. So if you're starting off at this kind of possible scenario of not making money, there are going to be lots of natural efficiencies that will improve as the business grows that should be helping you naturally reduce your overall CPA for the business. And that's it for my video today. I just wanted to give a really quick overview on how I personally think about CPA. Hopefully it's relevant to you as well and how you should be thinking about it, particularly for startup businesses when you're going into scaling Facebook ads as your main lever. I really hope you found it useful. Please do leave a comment if you have any questions on this, and do follow along, hit the subscribe button, and there'll be lots more content around Facebook ads and scaling your business coming up very soon.